Mingla Baklero, Kitini Pichero, Chapter 2 Literature, Exercise, Reading out Lutamino, the Chero, Literature, Jango Shima, Pakepi Wabi, a Pakepi Wabi, to net aside the Liting and Lutia, no? Comprehension. A. Complete each sentence below with a word or a phrase from the reading passage. Get Chero Sabai Tema, she de Salon Lito Moose, Sa. A pine like lady go, the quality into a few PBM, no? A painter uses color. A writer uses writer pattern words. No? And the three subjects and the literatures are Baripame. Yes, it's prose, poem, and drama. Prose, poem, and drama. Okay, now let's see another one. The author or writer of Pride and Prejudice is okay, sao you get it go to there? Yes, Jane Austen. Jane Austen. You know, Jane Austen. From Who the Bell Tolls was written by Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway. There are blank lines in the sonnet. How many lines? 14. There are blank lines in the limerick. How many lines? 5 lines in the limerick. Okay, now let's see another one. The 3 kinds of dramas are comedy, tragedy, and tragicomedy. You know, comedy, tragedy, and tragicomedy. A play that has a sad ending is called tragedy. Okay, tragedy. Yatu, Yakan, Etin, and Bole are different kinds of Myanmar poem. Okay, now let's look at another one. Give a short answer to each questions below. Short answer. Okay. Who wrote Wuthering Heights? Wuthering Heights ko padu ye gare? Yes, Emily Bronte. Okay, Emily Bronte. What is a sonnet? Yeah, a sonnet is a poem with 14 lines and a particular pattern of rhyme. Okay, now a sonnet is a poem with 14 lines and a particular patterns of rhyme. Okay, now let's look at another one. What is a limerick? A limerick is a humorous poem with 5 lines and its own rhyming scheme. Okay, now A limerick is a humorous poem with 5 lines and its own rhyming scheme. That is a limerick. Who wrote the play As You Like It? That is William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare wrote the play As You Like It. What is a tragic comedy? A tragic comedy is it's a play that has both sad and amusing. Okay, tragic comedy is a play that is both sad and amusing. Okay, now let's look at another one. C. Give a full sentence answer to each question below. Number 1. Can a news article be regarded as literature? Why? ကျွန်တော်စောင်းမတစ်ခုကိုစာပေလို့သတ်မှတ်လို့ရပါသလား။ဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲတဲ့။ဟုတ်နော်ဒါကိုထင်တာလေးကိုရေးပေးရမယ်နော်။ Number 2. What can a piece of writing be recognized as literature? ဘယ်အချိန်မှာစာရေးထားတဲ့အပိုင်းအစလေးတစ်ခုကိုစာပေလို့သတ်မှတ်လို့ရပါသလဲတဲ့။ Number 3. What is the difference between a painter and a writer? ပကြီးစရာနဲ့စာရေးစရာမှာမတူတဲ့ကွဲပြားတဲ့ခြားနားချက်လေးကိုပြောပြပေးပါတဲ့ What is drama meant for? Drama ဆိုတာဘာပါလဲတဲ့ What is the difference between a comedy and tragedy? Comedy နဲ့ tragedy နဲ့ရဲ့ကွဲပြားခြားနားချက်လေးကိုပြောပြပေးပါတဲ့ Yeah, what is the difference between a painter and a writer? A painter uses color and the writer uses words. What is drama meant for? Drama is meant for to be performed on a stage or a theater. What is the difference between a comedy and tragedy? Comedy is amusing and a tragedy is with sad ending. What is classic? Classics are the kind of literature that has the highest quality.အမြင့်ဆုံးအရည်အသွေးရှိတဲ့စာပေကို classics လို့ခေါ်တယ် Which do you like, comedy, tragedy, or tragicomedy? Explain why do you like it? Okay. ဟာတာကိုကြိုက်လားဝမ်းနေစရာနဲ့အဆုံးသတ်တဲ့ဟာကိုကြိုက်လားဟာတာကိုဝမ်းနေစရာအဆုံးသတ်ပါတဲ့ဟာကိုကြိုက်လား Explain why do you like it? ဘာကြောင့်ကြိုက်လဲဆိုတာလေးရှင်းပြပေးမယ်နော် Do you wish to be a famous author? Why or why not? နာမည်ကြီးရဲ့စာရေးဆရာတယောက်ဖြစ်ချင်ပါလားဖြစ်ချင်တယ်ဆိုလဲဘာလို့ဖြစ်ချင်ရလဲမဖြစ်ချင်ပါဘူးဆိုလဲဘာလို့မဖြစ်ချင်အောင်လဲဆိုတာလေးကိုရှင်းရေးပေးရမယ်နော် Okay, now let's look at another one. Number 2B, vocabulary. Defining words. Defining words ဆိုတာဒီစကားလုံးတစ်လုံးရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ကိုဒီထဲမှာပြန်ပြီးပြောပြရတာဥပမာမြန်မာလိုဆိုရင် cassette ခေါ်တာပေါ့ A copy from the passage the meaning of each words below. Okay, let's look at prose. What is prose? Prose is a kind of free, straightforwarding writing. Prose is a kind of free, straightforwarding writing. Okay, no? So that is prose. And then poetry. What is poetry? Poetry is a form of literature in verse. What is a poetry? Poetry is a form of literature in verse. Okay, now let's look at another one. Drama. What is drama? Drama is a story play. Drama is a story in the form of a play. What is a sonnet? A sonnet is a poem that has 14 lines and a pattern of writing. Sonnet is a poem that has 14 lines and a pattern and a particular patterns of rhyming scheme. Okay, what is limerick? Limerick is a humorous poem with 5 lines and its own rhyming scheme. A limerick is a humorous poem with 5 lines and its own rhyming scheme. Sorry, there is HUM. Humorous. Next one, comedy. Comedy is a play that is amusing. A play that is amusing. Okay, now next one, tragedy is a play that is with sad ending. With sad ending. Okay, next one, tragic comedy. It's a play that has both. That is both sad and amusing. That is both sad and amusing. Okay, now, so this is the words. And the next one, learn to define words. Define means say what the meaning of words is. Okay, now define လုပ်တယ်ဆိုတာဒီစကားလုံးရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ကဘာလဲဆိုတာကိုတစ်ချက်ပြောပြတာ Okay. Definition means the meaning of the words. Definition ဆိုတာဒီစကားလုံးရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ် A definition has 5 parts. Definition မှာ5မျိုးရှိတယ် Here 5 parts. Study the example below. အောက်မှာတစ်ချက်ကိုပြထားတယ်နော် Let's look at this. Here, what's to be defined? Verbs, general class words, WH words, characteristic. There are 5 parts. Okay, now, number 1. A doctor is a person who treats the sick and wounded. Doctor is a person who treats the sick and wounded or name a counter and amphibians. Only you need that one. It's an animal which can live in water and on land. Amphibians. At school, it's a place. School where children go to be educated. Aluminium, it's a metal which is produced from bauxite. Bauxite so that is definition. And the next one, column B. Number B. Match the first part of the sentence in column A with the second parts in column B Use the dictionary if necessary. Okay နောက်တစ်ချက် column A နဲ့ column B မှာရှိတဲ့စာကြောင်းလေးတွေကိုမှန်တာနဲ့ဆက်ပြီးမယ်တဲ့ Use your dictionary if necessary ဟုတ်ပြီနော် dictionary လိုရင်လည်းကိုယ့်ကိုယူပြီးစစ်လို့ရတယ်တဲ့ Here let's look at this. Column A has a limerick is a poem which is amusing and have 5 lines. Okay now a tragedy is a play which has a sad ending. Okay, now next one. A sonnet is a poem which, yes, has 14 lines. Very good. An author is a person who writes novels or essay. A comedy is a play which, yes, D, makes the audience laugh. A poet is the person who composes poem. Okay, now, so these are the answer. And the next one, an astronomer is the person who tells us about stars and planets. A dictionary is a book which defines meaning of the words. A botanist is a person who studies plants. A ruler is an instrument which we use to measure length and height. Okay, now? And then now let's look at another one. 2C, grammar, adjectives, phrases. Adjective phrases, they are below. And adjective phrases may begin with a preposition like and ing verbs on, ed verbs in. Okay, now preposition in this same and ing verbs di pame, ed verbs di pare hari. For example, preposition is saying on the table, under the tree, in the garden. Preposition is a phrase lady. And the next one, ing is sitting all alone, talking to the teacher and watching TV. You know, the ing is lady. Not who ed verbs, painted by Bati, written in Japanese, made in Germany. You know, these are called adjective phrases. Now let's look at another one. In a sentence, an adjective modifies the nouns in front of it shown below with an arrow. Here, let's look at this. The book on that table belongs to me. Or preposition is on. Below on that table. Do you know that girl sitting over there? Do you know that girl? Below, which girl sitting over there? Tiny. Watch made in Switzerland are very good. Watch made in Switzerland. Okay, now let's look at our exercise. Copy the sentence below in your exercise book. Copy low man. Then box the adjective phrase in each sentence. Adjective phrase lady go box low man and use an arrow to show the nouns in its modifier. Okay, nouns back go to share what line okay, let's look at this. A play and poems written by Shakespeare are not easy to understand. So here, adjective phrase is written by Shakespeare. And then, here, plays and poem. Plays and poem written by Shakespeare. Okay, next one. Egg from Ubert's poultry farms are big and fresh. Okay, the adjective phrase is preposition aside, right? From Uber's poultry farm. Uber ye mumi changa twate balile egg. Okay, now and like this one, and then now let's look at another one. That boy in the green shirt is my cousin. So which one is adjective phrase? Yes, in the green shirt. So who is that reference to? That boy. Okay, let's look at another one. The two men talking under the tree. So under that tree are engineers. The two men here talking under that tree. So that talking under that tree are the two men. The bridge across the river is more than 15 years old. 50 years old, sorry. Here, across that river. So that is with preposition that it refers to the bridge. Books sold in that little shops are quite cheap. So sold in that little shop starts with verb. Are here books. Okay, now. So now let's carry on to another one. These lunch packets are for those workers resting under that tree. So which one is adjective phrase? Yeah, resting under that tree. So who are they? Those workers. All those watches in that showcase are made in Japan. So which one is this? In that showcase. So that shows to watches. Okay, now have you read any detective story written by Agatha Christie? So there's one written by Agatha Christie. So which one is that? Any detective stories. Okay. The next one. Any book borrowed from our library must be returned in 2 weeks. So borrow from our library. That is that. Which one is borrow? Any book. Okay, now let's carry on to our another one. Present simple or present continuous. Study the example below. My cousin has brown eyes. The fact that is always true. အမြဲတမ်းမှန်တဲ့အရာတွေဥပမာ my cousin has brown eyes mean that သူ့မှာမျက်လုံးအညိုရောင်ရှိတယ်။မွေးကလေးကအညိုနေတာအမြဲတမ်းညိုနေမှာပဲ So that is the fact that is always true. I live in that flat near the city center. အခုလောလောဆယ်နေနေတဲ့နေရာဟုတ်ပြီနော် current situation နေနေတဲ့အတွက် present simple. I sometimes stay up till midnight. Habitual actions are လုပ်လေးလုပ်ထားရှိတဲ့ဟာတွေအကုန်လုံးလဲကျတို့က present simple နဲ့သုံးတယ်နော် Here a fact that is always true အမြဲတမ်းမှန်နေတဲ့အရာ For example like that the sun rises from the east နေရာအရှိရကထွက်တယ် That is always true. A current situation. I study my lesson via TV or computer. Okay, no, that is current situation. A habitual action. I always forget my pen whenever I go to school. That is like habitual action. You know, not good. Yeah. Study the example below. You answer the phone. She's having a bath. Action that is happening now. So that she's still doing it. So it is like ing. Okay, now ing form present continuous. Activity that is happening now. Next one. I am living with friends until I find a place of my own. A temporary action. အခုတငယ်ချင်းနေနေတယ်တဲ့အိမ်ရှာလို့မတွေ့မိစားချာမှာ Okay နော် A temporary action ဆိုအခုလောလောဆယ်မှာဖြစ်နေတဲ့အရာ We are meeting at 1 p.m. outside the restaurant. A planned future arrangement. ဟုတ်ပြီ ing နဲ့ future ကိုရေးထားတာဟုတ်ပြီနော်ဘာကြောင့်လဲသူတို့တကယ်ကိုချိန်ထားပြီးပါပြီတနာရီမှာတွေ့ကိုတွေ့တော့မှာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်မလို့ A planned future arrangement for sure ဖြစ်လို့ရှိရင်ကျတို့က we use present continuous ကိုသုံးတယ် Okay နော် Next one. The present continuous is used to talk about an activity that is happening now. A temporary action အခုလောတဲ့ခဏလုံးလေးဟာ a planned future arrangement ဟုတ်ပြီနော်တွေ့ဖို့ကိုချိန်ဆထားပြီးအကုန်လုံးနဲ့ prepare လုပ်ပြီးပါပြီ That is 100%. Okay now let's look at this. Underline the verbs in the sentence. The first one is then for you an example. Okay your verb underline လုပ်မယ် The teacher always switches off his mobile phone while he is teaching. Switches off. Do you believe in the existence of ghosts? So do believe. That is verbs. And the next one. I do not usually go to the gym at weekend. Okay, now here I do not go. Why are you upsetting me by asking personal questions? Are upsetting. Be serious. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. A good teacher always makes learning enjoyable. So makes. These are the verbs. After that, tick the sentence that are right, circle the verb that are wrong, and give the correct form. I work in the public library at the moment. Yeah, at the moment with your time, it's a temporary action. So you have to write in ing form. Circle the wrong verb and give the correct form. I am walking in a public library. Okay, not mine. The next one. We are spending next summer in Mogo. Now Mogo name. So if it is right, tick. Okay, now next one. Turner is never getting up early. That is habitual action. လုံးလေးလှုပ်ထားရှိတဲ့အကျင့်ဆိုရင် ing နဲ့ရေးလား No. Okay နော် It so never gets up. Okay အဲ့လိုမျိုးလေးလုပ်ပြရနော် This coat belongs to my father. Oh, belongs to. Yes, correct. Some birds build their nets out of small twigs. Oh, တစ်ကိုင်းကြောက်လေးနဲ့ငှက်ကလေးတွေအတိုက်လုပ်တယ် Yes, always true. I'm usually going to walk by bicycle. Usually, not I'm not usually going to. I usually go to walk by bicycle. And the next one, look, the girl danced beautiful. Hey, how much did I come on this gun? Look so there what? Like this is temporary action. The girl is dancing beautifully. In the picture, we all smile and eat snacks happily. The ponema, we all are smiling and eating snack happily. I'm not liking to wear too much makeup. That is called habitual. So I don't like to wear too much makeup. Now, next one. Walk in pair, read your respective text. Some pieces of information are missing. Student A, student B, student A is Romeo and Juliet is one of the most popular plays written by William Shakespeare. This story is about. Romeo and Juliet is one of the most popular plays written by William Shakespeare. The story is about a young man who falls in love with a young woman. Next one. Yes, student A. The young man's name is Romeo and the young woman is Juliet. Blank, so they marry in secret. One day, Romeo gets into a fight and kills a young man. The young man is. The name of the young man and the young woman are. Their families are enemies, so they married blank. One day, Romeo gets into a fight and kills a young man. The young man is Juliet's cousin. Next one, said student A, Romeo has to leave the city. Juliet sends him a message. The message is very important because blank. Romeo doesn't get it. Because of this, Romeo and Juliet killed themselves at the end of the story. Okay, student B is Romeo has to, okay, find the answer. Juliet sent him a message. The message is very important because it explains how they can get together. Romeo doesn't get it because of this blank at the end of the story. So you have to share the information and then try to fill up the blanks. Next one. Ask and answer the question given to complete your text. A's question. A will ask to B and then B has to ask the questions. There are 4 sets of questions. What is the story about? What are the names of the character? Why do they marry in the secret? So who does Romeo kill? Why is the message to Juliet sent to Romeo important? Okay, now? Yes. Then, what are the names of the character? How do Romeo and Juliet marry? What does Romeo have to do? How does the story end it? Okay, now? And the next one, writing. That is for writing. Write a paragraph on my favorite author. Use the points suggested below. Who is your favorite? Who your favorite author is, the title of the book when you read it, what the story is about, what the story is about, and then how many books he or she has written. Why do you like him or her? Okay, now, so that is the writing for the end of the lessons. Okay, this is the end of the lessons for the exercise, but in another, we are going to have the listening. Okay, now, so that is for the exercise.